Well, would you look at there? Would you look at there? Guess what it is? 2023 Bass Pro Tour. And yes, look at here. We got the camera. We're going to film a lot of our footage again this year. We're back. We're back on the channel. So, guess where we're at? Any of y'all who followed along with me last year, you know that we're at my brother's house, Ricky's Dudley's, but would you look at here?
The infamous.
No.
The one and only.
The one and only Bailey Boutrie's is in the house. So yes, we're going to start. We got to start off with something, start off with a bang. This year, we're here in Florida. I've been here 5 days already, trying to get myself back in shape. Check out my fridge. Check it out. I got a old mango, an old avocado. I'd say my refrigerator's looking pretty weak. Pretty weak. I don't even have nothing to make sandwiches with. We're gonna go with a bunch of cereal. So guys, yes, we're gonna watch me this season try to make my 5th Angler of the Year. I've got 4 titles. I would love to hold up 5 hands for Angler of the Year. That would be pretty cool to say. How many Angler of the Years you got? I got 5. Right now we got 4, going for number 5. So guys, tag along. This is practice. We're here at Lake Toho, and this is the first event of the year. Alright, here we go. We are officially in the water. First day of practice, and yes, it looks absolutely gorgeous out here. I'm excited. It's always fun. This will be my 29th season. It's hard, blows my mind. It's hard to believe this is my 29th season, but it is, and we are about to start hopefully a good year. So follow along with me today. We're going to go out here and ride around. My goal today is to this. Whenever you're in Florida lakes, there's always going to be certain areas that have grass, certain areas that don't. So my first day of practice is going to be just ride around in the first couple hours of practice. We're going to burn some gas and just see where some clean water's at. Clean water's always a big key in Florida. Always a big key in Florida. And just see what we can find. So really, we're going to put this throttle down on the Mercury and just ride around and see what we can see, and then settle down this afternoon. Ahead for the weather, look ahead for what's coming. Now it's been warm here, crazy warm, and it's a south wind blowing right now. We have got to know that when that cold front comes in, the wind is going to be totally opposite. So in my mind today, I'm trying to find some north areas that'll be protected from the wind, which of course is getting pounded right now. But either way, I feel like swim jig, bladed bait, and a speed worm are going to be the ticket. You watch what I tell you. Them 3 things are going to be at least 3 or 4 of the top 10. So. so. Pre-spawn? Yeah, maybe so. I don't know. The point is, Alright, day 2 of practice here. You just saw day 1 of practice. It was 30 miles an hour wind. I did not get any footage. There was really nothing for me to show you, explain. It was just me trying to get out of the wind. As you can see, the trees are rocking, swaying. 30 mile an hour winds is not much, but what I'm going to do, so I'm going to look at the map, pull up the map here in just a second, and explain to you what you want to look for when you have projected a lot of winds, or you're in a Florida lake where the potential of muddy water can come in from the weather. So yes, let's dive into that. Hopefully you'll learn something. I got to rig a lot of tackle. I got to get stuff prepped, and I bet you can guess probably what I'm going to have tied on, but we always want to have a lot more tied on. So we're going to do a little bit of classroom session here for the practice period here at Kissimmee. All right, guys, you just watched a practice that kind of rode around a lot. I burned a whole tank of gas riding every single lake doing a lap. I knew the wind was going to come up. I knew we were going to be facing trouble come the second day of practice. I didn't get much footage yesterday in practice. The wind was 30 miles an hour. Really, the filming was nothing, but I can tell you this. One of the things I did learn was I got out of the wind a little bit, went and cranked in the canal some, caught a couple, cranking the little canals that connect the lake. I don't know if that'll pan out or not, but I'm hoping the wind is not going to trash up my area. The wind, looking at certain directions, I think the area that you saw me catch them on a chatterbait around some of them lily pads is going to be trashed. So I'm hoping not. But anytime you are in practice and you see high winds coming up, I want you to do this. I want you to look, and in practice you have to go and project what, even though the lake is calm and it had been calm down here in Florida for many days, you have to project where wind is coming from in your practice. So what I was doing was riding the lakes, looking around, but I was also looking at the map. I knew we were going to have a west wind, and that part of the lake I knew was going to be trashed, potential of trash, depending on if the weathermen were wrong. So let's look at a map right now, and I want to tell you a little bit of how you should practice for weather conditions anytime you're down here in Florida. So let's take a look at the map. All right, so when you're dealing with lakes in Florida, or really any lake, any very shallow lakes that have a lot of silt in it, you always want to play the wind. Lakes that don't have a lot of silt in it, say a rocky lake, wind is going to be a liar to you. So you can use wind in your favor, but when you're on lakes with a lot of silt, it can be your worst enemy. So let's talk about this. Lakes in Florida. Here's a lake that I fish a lot of called Lake Marion. This is where my brother's house is at. This is going to be north, right up here towards the end of the lake. You always want to look at the direction of the wind, potential of your tournament. So as I was riding around, I knew we had a west wind coming in, and a west wind would have been coming in very strong. So pretty obvious, guys. If I was to have practiced that would almost be a waste of time. The wind would be coming in directly in this pocket at 30 miles an hour. This whole bank would be trashed. Okay, that trash in the lake, anything on this lake is potential gets muddy, silty, or whatever. So as you're looking around on the lake, always look at areas, looking at the potential wind, looking where it's going to happen at. So basically the most productive place would have been on this west bank right here, because east side would have got destroyed and west side. So people who are practicing over here, or if I was to practice over here on a 30-mile-an-hour west wind, you know it's going to get trashed. So to save time and be more efficient, this is the area of the lake that you needed to fish in preparation for that. So after learning what I did in practice, I'm kind of optimistic. I think that area that we had found that highlighted a little bit was on that west, on the east side. I think it's going to be trashed. I'm crossing my fingers, hoping it's not, but in my mind I do. So what do I have for backup B plan? Not much at all. We fished a little bit of the east side of all the lakes, trying to find that protected area for that didn't get as trashed. I found one little area that I got a few bites in. Of course, I didn't have anything going. With 30-mile-an-hour winds, you couldn't really learn much with me videoing myself. But potentially I got a couple bites in the canal for backup B plan. I got a couple bites in another area for backup B plan. But really, I'm very optimistic about tomorrow. So I hope you learned something through my practice video. Guys, I appreciate all your support. I'm back on this video stuff again. Thank you for hanging with me. Guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. I really appreciate it. And we will be back at you with day one of the tournament video, where I will explain my thought process, and you along with me get to work it out throughout the course of the day and see how it unfolds. I'm excited about day one, a little optimistic, but the thing is, everybody who's watching this, we get to learn together. Thank you, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button.